Hello everybody and welcome back to Python tutorial. Today we'll continue talking about object-oriented programming. Specifically, we'll talk about inheritance. So let's start by writing the class person. We will define our constructor as what we did in the previous tutorial. This class will take two parameters, the first name and last name. Then of course we have two private attributes, if name equals to the parameter this one. Then we will assign, sorry I did some mistake. Then we will update our second attribute. In this class as well, we will override the function str. We talked about it in the last tutorial. If you did not see it, I advise you to see it. Now, what does this function do? It will return a string, how you want your object to be displayed. Now, I always believe it's easier to go to the guest part so that you can understand what we are trying to do. So, let's define an object called P1 of type person. What I will give this person? I will give it first name and last name. So, for example, why is it red? I'm not sure. Okay, because I did not close this one. Okay, good. Now, what if I want to print my person? So I will go to print P1. Again, as we said in the previous tutorial, it will be printing. Now I have an error. Person text, no argument. Sorry, I wrote it. Okay, here we are. So you can see what it's printing. It's printing the address of P1. And this is not what we want. So I will override the function str. It will take only the self and it will return my attribute organized in a way that I want it to be. So for example, we could write name equals to then plus my attribute name then I could do as well last name, for example, plus name. That's all. Return okay, let's try it now. Good. Let's do some tab here so it will look better. Good. Now, str is considered as a special method, as what we have said in the inheritance chapter. Now, let's define another special method, which is equal. Now, what does function equal do? Now, assume I want to create two objects. They have the same content, same first name, same last name. Now let me try to compare these two and see what will be the output. print P1 equals to P2. You know double equal is used for comparison. So let's see. It's false. Oh, surprisingly, even I have the same first name, the same last name, I'm copying and pasting the same lowercase, uppercase. So why is it like this? Because by default, double equal, it will compare the addresses of these two objects. Definitely, they have different addresses. P1 has an address in memory, P2 has another address in memory. How to solve this problem? We will override the function equals. So this one, what does it take? Of course, self and other. Other is the other object because equals compares two things, two objects. What shall I return? This function, of course, it returns true or false. So I need to compare self dot what? If name, is it equal to other dot if name? And not only that, I need the first name and last name to be the same so that I will consider those two objects to be equal. So, and self. So this with this one and this with this one. So let's see now. Good, it is true. Automatically, by the way, this double equal will check for equal because this represents an operator. Do you remember what we have said? It will override the operator equals. So in this case, it will do a proper comparison between self and other. So in this case, they are equal. If we change anything, for example, like this, it should return false. Good, because they are not the same. Now, let's do something else. Let's define another class called employee, for example. This class will inherit from person. This is how we do it. Okay. Now, this will have, of course, a constructor like any other class. So here we are. What does it take? The self as usual. And then it will take, of course, a first name and last name since it is a person. An employee is a person. What else? Let me add, for example, age and salary. The first step, as we said in the chapter, we need to call the init of my parent class, of my superclass. How to do that? We will simply write the name of the parent class dot the init. Okay, and I will pass to it the first name and last name. The parent knows its task. It will do it properly, inshallah. Then, I still have two other attributes. So, let me define my own attributes inside employee class. So, self.age will simply be equal to age. You could do some control as what we have said. So you could say if age greater than something else, you display an error. We can do it later. It's okay for now. Then self.salary equals to salary. Let's make it as private as well. So we are done regarding init. Now we could define our sum setters and getters. I will define set age and set salary. So define set age, which will take self plus the age attribute, then be equal to the age. Similarly, I will be doing set salary. it will take salary as an attribute, and here that's all. Let's write get age and get salary. So define get age. In this case, it does not take attribute, only of course the self. It would return simply self.age. Get salary. It would return my salary. Okay, we are in a good shape now. Now we could define an object of type student, of type employee. So E1, for example, will be equal to employee, and I need to pass to it what? The first name, for example, last name. What else? I need the age and salary. Let's say this is $5,000, for example. So in this case, I have defined my employee. Now, if I want to print it, it will not print it properly. You know why? Because I did not override the str function inside my employee. Let's see. I have an error here. Like, because of indentation. Sorry. Let's see now. No, employee is not defined. I wrote it like this. So this is okay, good. Can you see here? You remember what we have said? The only time we pass self in method call is when we call the parent method, like this. Generally, we put the self in the method definition, like here, like here. In method call, we don't put it unless we are calling the parent method. So this is supposed to solve the problem. Here we are. Now, it has printed first name and last name properly because don't forget an employee inherit from person. So it used this str. Good. However, it did not print the other information. How to solve this problem? We will also override the str inside employee class. So I will do something like this. It will take self as well. Inside it, I will call first the str of person and I will give it self. Then I will add to it I need to add the age and salary. So I will write age equals, let me do a tab here as well, plus self dot age and plus another tab, salary plus I guess that's all. So I open here, I close it here. Let's see what will it do. Okay, what's the problem? can only not and okay again. Now here I need to convert this into str because this is integer. Okay, I always forget to do this anyway. So I will close the house. This will do. Here we are. Good. So I have my all information. I have the name, I have last name, I have age, and I have my salary. Good. Now let's do something else. What if I want to sort my employee according to their salary? So I will show you in the guest part what I'm trying to do. So this is my first employee. His salary is 5,000, for example. Let me create another employee. Okay, I will put any name. For example, then whatever age, and then let's give a bigger salary, for example. Okay, here we are. So let me change this to employee 2. Good. And let's create a third employee object. So I will put, for example, whatever and that's good. Okay. So now let me try to compare this employee. For example, E1 less than. I want simply to use less than operator. So let's see what it will do in this case. Not supported between instances of employee. Can you see? It's not supported. How to solve this problem? Let's override a function called less than or equal, whatever you want. So define less than, or you want less than or equal. So let's print my list to make sure that it's working, the sorting thing. Let's see. Okay, here we are. So the list salary is 3,000, which is for employee Khalid. So he appeared the first one. Then the second one is for Ahmad, 5,000. Then the last one is for Khulud, which is this salary. So it's working perfectly. All thanks to less than function. Of course, you could do the sorting in any other attribute or mixture of attributes. You could, for example, do it according to age. Simply, we'll change this into age. Let's see. So in this case, Khulud appeared at the beginning because age is 28, then Ahmad, then Khalid according to the age. That's all for today. Thank you very much. Stay safe. See you in next tutorials, inshallah.